morning, everyone. Today, we're going to be having our next session in the You Can Success Summit. And I'm excited today because I have a friend of mine that I'm going to be interviewing, and she's going to be telling her story about her business and how she got involved in business. And she's been in this industry for a long time. I want to tell you that I'm so super excited to have her aboard with us because she is a high six-figure income earner in her company. She's done very, very well for a long time. But it didn't always start that way. It didn't start off that way, and of course, it hasn't been a smooth journey. Sometimes when we see people on stage or when we see people that have had success, we think it was easy for them. We think it just they just magically appeared there. But you're going to hear from a woman today that she had to persevere, for a long time to be able to, do what she's done. But now she's done it. She's created a system. She's involved in a system, and she's been leading a lot of people all around the world. She's traveled the world and helped thousands upon thousands of people, average people just like us, to be able to have the success that they want. And she lives a lifestyle that most people could dream about. And so I want you guys to all just listen, take copious notes, get your pen and paper out, take notes, because she's going to tell you her story, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what it takes to make it in this world today, in this particular industry, and how to succeed. So please help me welcome Ms. Andrea Langer. Hey Andrea, how's it going today?
Doing great. How are you?
All right, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I know people are going to be excited here to hear your story, because I know you're out in Canada, right? What part of Canada
Yes.
are you in?
I'm in Alberta, in Calgary.
Alberta, Calgary. Okay, good, good. Well, I'm sure there's people in Alberta that are watching right now, and there's people all over the world that are watching, this video. And I have just a couple questions for you, because I want to hear your story. I've heard parts of it. You flew out here to California, and we spent time together, and that was fun. And I've heard some of your story, but the people need to know who you are. The people need to know what you're all about and how you were able to do and create the fortune and create the lifestyle that you live now. And so maybe just tell us a little bit about, your background, tell us about how you got into the industry, and, what even got you to the point that made you get into, your own business and direct sales. And so, yeah, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story with you, and this way also helping other people who will in the future be able to take advantage of this wonderful industry. I'll start at the beginning. I was born in Europe, and I was born in a communistic country, so a socialistic country. We didn't really have many dreams, so there was no dreams. You just had a job, and hopefully you had enough money to make it to the end of the month. I did have, eventually I decided to study in a different country. So I studied first in Germany and then later in Canada. And I studied marketing and advertising and visual communication. And we studied all kinds of different type of marketing, but we never studied network marketing. And so I really didn't know about that at the time. And when I finally came to Canada, I found about that. But first I had my own company. I had an advertising agency, first in Europe and later here. And of course, that's a lot of work. You need investments, you need employees, all the headaches that come with the regular business, with customers, and making sure you find work, making sure you get paid, and you kind of tied down, difficult to take holidays and all that. So I was very successful in my advertising business, but it was long hours and not much free time, and lots of stress. So eventually I was introduced to network marketing, and I was so excited because I've never seen that. And I'm actually very good with numbers. I understand the residual and income and all that. And I felt, what a wonderful idea. Whoever figured that out, it's quite incredible. And why didn't I never heard about that on university? And I started with few network marketing companies, but it did not work very well because of either the product was no good or the marketing plan was no good. So I tried this and that, and nothing really got me anywhere. So back I went into my advertising agency. And then one day I got uh, I found this product that was like incredible, worked really terrific, like nothing else. And so I became a customer. I was all excited about this product, and I could not shut up about it. Like people would ask me, what happened? Why you look so much better? And so I would tell them about the product. And I did not want to do the business at the time because I kind of got discouraged, and I figured out that it's all no good. But people were asking me questions. They wanted to buy the product, and they said, "Well, how do I become a member?" And I have somebody I would like to sponsor. How does all that work? So really, in the first year with the company I'm with now, I didn't really do much. I just kind of told them I don't want to do the business. They have to help themselves. But because the product was so good, it grew into about 150 people in my first year. And so I figured out, well, it's really about the product. Uh, it's the most important thing. How good is the product? And so I started telling few people, and eventually in few years, I developed a business that was over 100,000 distributors in over 20 countries. So it became very successful. Yes, I did work long hours, and I did not take no for an answer, and I made sure that every objection was handled properly, so that at the end nobody could say no to me. So I just I did not like that answer no. And at the time, I didn't do everything right. We didn't have much training and so on. And so actually, I learned from my customers. And so if they bought the product and they become a member, I asked them, what did I say that impressed them? And if they said no, I asked them, what did I do that you don't like it? Why not? So that's how I learned at the time, was really from my customers and my distributors.
Yeah.
At the time, there was a little training, and the company didn't provide much training, so it was difficult. And but in about a year and a half, I was already making over $10,000 a month.
Wow.
And but as I said, I had to push it because, and this became my only business. I decided to not have the advertising agency anymore, and I was serious about that.
Yeah,
So
well, it's interesting. I have a question for you because thank you. And, it's so awesome to hear the stories of the success that you've started to have. But, a lot of people that are looking at this industry, there's a lot of people right now that are out of work that are looking to get involved in a business. And, network marketing, I'm sure their friends or somebody has approached them about it at some point. But what they don't hear, and this is what they never hear a lot of the time from real people like you, that, yeah, you were making 10,000 a month after a year and a half, 2 years. And that's not always typical, but it did happen. It does happen for a lot of people that actually go to work. But what put you in the position to do that in the first place? What happened in your life to make you even look at network marketing? So what caused you to do that? And what type of challenges did you go through in that first year? Because I'm sure it just wasn't smooth sailing from nothing to something. So what was the challenges that you had to work through to get there?
well, I didn't have that many challenges. I was lucky because the owner of the company was helping me any way possible. He would come to my city and do presentations and so on. He felt that I have big potential. He saw that much more in me than I did. And he invested a lot of time in making sure I get trained and understand the products. And I would travel to states, and I would learn from people who were already a little bit successful. So he could see that I have enthusiasm, and I have big dreams, and so he kind of invested his time into me. And so that was a good plus. And today I do the same with my organization. I make sure when I see potential in people, which most of the people have potential, and I will give them my time, my knowledge to make sure that they can succeed. So it's, of course, up to them what they do. You can't pressure anybody, but majority of people who want to succeed, they can succeed. They just have to learn all the ins and out of this business, because this is a profession like anything else. If you are a medical doctor and let's say you're a surgeon, you have to learn how to do surgeries and will take years. And if you're in this business, you have to learn how to prospect, how to present, how to handle objections, how to follow up, and how to train. So you have to, it's a profession that you need to understand and learn it, and do the best in it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And you said something earlier. You said that you didn't have a lot of confidence. You didn't see as much potential in you as someone else did. So do you find that a lot of people that get involved in this industry may not have a lot of confidence in themselves? And was that you, or did you already have a lot of confidence when you started? You just didn't believe you could build your business as big as you did?
Well, I already had a lot of confidence in myself because I had my own business, so I had a lot of knowledge how to run a business. But I see in other people, especially people who just have a job, they say, I could never do that. I'm not in sales. I don't know how to sell. They have every excuse in the world. And it goes back to childhood when the parents or whoever teachers were telling them, good, don't do this, don't touch that. And so eventually you figure out, good, and you believe that through the whole life. And and it takes a lot of uh, changes in a person so they can be positive and they can believe in themselves. So that's probably the biggest problem we have in network marketing, is because the people don't believe in themselves and they become the biggest enemy. Instead of to be the best friend, they are sabotaging themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. All the training I do, I teach, you have to become competent, confident, and consistent. And, the more competent you are at the things you talked about earlier, which was learning the basics of the business, the more competent you are at those, the more confident and you'll be at doing them. And then you'll be more consistent doing them. And that's when you start getting the results. Is that what you've seen?
Exactly. I love your training because you touch all these things and teach people about it. And so they realize, yeah, anybody can do it. No, they say, I don't have the knowledge right now, but I can get it and I can handle it. And of course, it takes practice. And with practice, everything gets better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about some success. I know you said you've had some success and a lot of success yourself, but in this industry, one thing I love about the direct sales and network marketing industry is that you cannot have success without helping other people have success. It's impossible. You can't say, I'm the only one who made money in my business. A lot of other people had to have made money before you can make money. And that's what another big lie that's taught in our industry is that only the people at the top make money. That's not true. The only way you can make money in the business is if you help other people succeed. So
Well,
tell one of your success stories that you've had personally, maybe a story that something happened to you that maybe it was a challenge or you started building up and then you did something successful in the business. So let's hear one of your stories there.
Well, when I started with the company I'm with now, my very first check was 34 cents. And the stamp that they sent me the check was 17 cents. So, but it told me that whatever you do, you get paid for. And so today you can't get such a little check anymore because the marketing plan changed. But it's unique how I started, because people say, yeah, easy for you and the top, all the people on top make the money. But we all start at the bottom, and it all depends on how hard you work and how well you do the things that we need to do. And so I believe that I had to be successful first to prove it to others that this is a business that other people should be involved. At the beginning, I had tough time convincing my friends. They said, yeah, the product is great, but there's no money in this business. And so that kind of made me mad and upset. So I found people I never met before who were strangers, and I built business with these people, while my friends they didn't want to follow. Once when I became more successful, the friend said, well, why didn't you push me more? Like now it was again my fault. Why didn't I do this and why didn't I do that? So I said, well, I can only do so much. I can uh, give you the opportunity, help you anyway, but you still have to do your own work. And so eventually my checks were getting higher and higher, and I was starting to build in other companies. I got to travel all over the world. The company had conventions in all the wonderful places, so we got to travel to China, to Taiwan, to Hong Kong. I got to travel to Russia, to many places in Europe, many conventions in Hawaii, many conventions on cruises, Caribbean, Panama, Mexico, and so on. So we really went all over the world with this company. And so normally when you have a job, you don't have that opportunity. You have to pay for your own holidays. And normally you don't make much money that you can travel as much as we did. Like I would travel in 1 year as much as majority of Canadians travel the whole life. So it's like that's unique to this business. And so once when I became successful, like I got my own Mercedes, later I got a Ford Explorer, then I got a second Mercedes and a third Mercedes and another Ford Explorer SUV, and I got a beautiful custom built home and many rewards and recognition. So my friends realized, wow, this is a good business. Of course they had excuses, well, you can do that, but I can't. And I said, well, if you say so, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So, or do you want to join me and let's do these things together? So many of them eventually did get serious about the business. And that's how, of course, I got even more successful. And so what is unique, what really is enjoyable for me is that I see other people succeeding, because once when I succeeded, there's only so much money you can use. I'm not the one that wants to have a Learjet and all this stuff. I'm happy with little, but get really happy when I see other people succeeding. And I have many people in my organization who succeeded either in a small or many in a big way. So I'm thinking of one person that in the past he was a farmer and he didn't make as much money, and eventually he worked in oil business, and that was tough and dangerous. And eventually he was introduced to the network marketing company, and he decided to go for it. He had big dreams. Eventually, he got out of being a farmer, out of oil business, and moved to another more beautiful province, bought a nice Mercedes, bought a beautiful big mansion house, and traveled the world. And his life changed completely from what it was before and what it is today. Thinking of another person, he has a beautiful house in one state, and he bought another house in Florida. And so in summertime, they spent in a colder state, and in wintertime, they enjoy the weather in Florida. So and of course, we all get to travel all over the world. So it's nice. We get to meet each other and see each other several times a year. So it's kind of really unique lifestyle that you would normally see in the show like Rich and Famous or so. So, but we're not famous. We're just, we have great lifestyle. We have freedom, and we are own bosses. Nobody tells us what to do, and that's the beautiful thing about it, is to have the freedom, to have the time to do what you want to do, and travel wherever you want, and no boss tells you what you can and what you cannot do. And you can decide how much money you want to make. If you want to make more, you get more people involved and help them to succeed, and then we succeed. If you would do that with a job and you ask the boss, well, I want to double my income, he's gonna laugh at you and probably kick you out. So it's a different lifestyle and like job today is not secure. Jobs So many millions of people have lost jobs through this pandemic, and many of these jobs are not going to come back. So what do you do? Like here in Alberta, we already had before pandemic, we had over 200,000 people unemployed because of the oil industry. And so now with the pandemic, it's like many more millions. I mean, many more 100,000 people. So how are all these people going to get a job? You have to smarten up and say, what am I going to do? And be open-minded and have a look at what this is all about.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you made some great points there because there are so many people out of work right now. There's a lot of people that are hurting. There's a lot of people that need to do something. And I think the biggest thing that I see while I'm talking to people every day is how much they're starting to recognize that that job security that they thought they had is not very secure. I look at you and you have job security. You've been doing the company for how long? You been in the company now?
Over 35 years.
35 years. So how many people do you know work a job for 35 years?
Not
And
too
get
many.
paid, right? And not many, and get paid month after month after month. See, I remember you just went through hardship. You just went through some sickness where you were in the hospital. I remember we talked about that, right? And
Yeah.
let me ask you this: did the check still come?
Oh yeah, like whenever I was either sick or didn't feel like working or I wasn't on holidays, normally the checks were higher than before. And through pandemic was amazing because I figured out what is going to happen now, because all the businesses were closing, and I figured out, oh my God, what we're going to do. And then I start seeing the volume going up, and people who were normally buying just, let's say, a few $100s a month or even less, suddenly, like I had customers that would buy $5,000 and $7,000 worth of products because they were afraid that the company might not be in business or they might not get the product. So we were like in same situation like with toilet paper. The company had a little bit tough time keeping up with demand because people were loading and loading on products. But so eventually they had to limit some products to less, so everybody was getting something, and now they're back uh, doing we have no more shortages of products. But so that is another thing that you need to have a business that can work at any time. Like I said, we consider ourselves essential workers, and I never even thought about that in the past. It never came to my mind until this pandemic came. And so it's very important that when people choose a company, that they choose the company with the right product, the product that there is a need for it, and that that product or service will bring you positive results and will solve the problem, meet the need. And you want a product that has no competition, that nobody else has it, because a lot of people don't know how to sell. 95% of people don't know how to sell. So if they have similar product to somebody else, how they're going to compete? They don't know how. So you have to choose a product that is second to none, and of course has to be price comparable and profit a price for profit, so there's enough margin for everybody. And as I said, essential product or service, it's really important. That's what I learned through this pandemic.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you got sick for one. You got sick, couldn't go at work. I remember you were traveling all around. You were in the hospital, couldn't go out and do anything, and you still got a check, and your check grew. And then
Oh yeah,
all of a
that's
sudden, you can't work because they shut the whole world down. There's a pandemic. You're afraid of what are you going to do? Your business is going to go out of business. Your income grew. How many people can say that in any job? With the exception of maybe an Amazon or a Walmart or
yeah, and
something.
some
But with
exactly,
the exception of that, right? Who can say a small business owner that works from home, that her income increased based on the work she did years ago? And that's
exactly,
what you
yeah,
have. You
yeah,
have a real business that, and it's one of the only businesses that you can start with very little money. You don't need a lot of cash up front. You don't need thousands of dollars to start. You don't even need $1,000 to start. You start very little. and you can start working, putting sweat equity in, and then create a lifestyle and generate a passive residual income that comes in month after month after month, even if you can't work or stop working. And it's amazing how that works. And that's what a lot of people in this industry, or that are maybe considering this industry, just don't understand. They're taught a lot of
Exactly.
lies.
They have to learn that what is important is the passive income, the money comes in if you work or not. The money comes in while you sleep. With job, that is not the case. If you're self-employed, that is not the case. Like if you're a one person company, if you get sick, what do? Your business is going to collapse. So you need to have a passive income, which network marketing provides us with that. Similar like if you have a lots of money, an investor, and you also have a passive income. So it's that's important. That is, and so no job will provide you with passive income.
That's right. That's right. Well, I have a question for you. I got a unique question because, like you said, we've been talking about people that are out of work or people that have lost a lot or lost everything. I've met people in all those different areas. Let's say right now you lost everything. Let's say you didn't have your residual income. You lost everything. You had 30 days for the rent to be due or the mortgage to be due and car payments to be due and everything else. And you had little money to start. You had less than 500 bucks, a couple $100. You didn't have any credit. You had the skill set that you have right now, but you had nothing else. What would you do in the next 30 days to get yourself going so you can save yourself? What would you do?
What I would do, I would choose a network marketing company, and I would have a criteria what kind of network company that would be. So first, the most important to me would be to choose the right product. As I said, the product that people need, want, and it gives results. It has no competition. It's comparable in price. And it's enough profit for distributors, not just for the company. And is possibly a product or service that is essential business. Then I would look at the company. Does the company have the right leadership, management? And the next thing is important that the owners are the experts, because if the owners are not experts and they just hire somebody, that somebody can leave them and they're stuck with nothing. And so it's difficult to find experts, especially if it is particular products. That company management has to be innovative, has to think out of the box and be able to solve any kind of problems fast. And another important thing for me is that it should be a manufacturer, not a marketing company. And the reason I'm saying that is because if it's just a marketing company and is buying products somewhere and putting the labels on it, it means that somebody else is making profit already, then they are making the profit. They have no control over quality because the manufacturer will try to make it as cheaply as possible. So they have the profit, marketing company has to have the profit, so that you lose on quality. But if you yourself, the company, it's manufacturer, then they have the full control. They know what is in the product. They can truly say, this is good quality product, where if you're just a marketing company, you never know how good the product is because somebody else made it. It's kind of like if I bake you a cake, you don't know what's in it. And let's say I put a poison in, you wouldn't know when it's too late. So that's why it's important that the company produces their own products rather than just buying somewhere else. So this way they are unique and one of a kind, and they have full control and can make decisions much faster, and they're not dependent on anybody. And the next thing I would look is for compensation plan, so that that is a that is really important, especially it has to have a possibility to make some money fast for people who are just starting, and it has to give us a reasonable part-time income. And of course, at the same time, the marketing plan has to offer the ability to earn big money for people who have big goals, so that people who want to do 7-figure income, that that is available to them. And then next thing I would look at is its company support. They do research and development, and they have a back office. They do all your accounting and bookkeeping for you, and they provide training and tools and so on. So all these things that would normally, if you would be in your own business, you'd have to do yourself. I want the company to provide all that for me. And then another thing it's important is the timing, that the product is timely, that is, it goes with the trend and is wanted by majority, like baby boomers now in the 60s, 70s. And for them, it's important to have good health products. So that is really important. So after I've chosen the right company based on that criteria, then let me see. Um, I would become a product of a product, meaning I would use every product the company has to make sure that I have experience in that, I have the knowledge, and I can get excited about it, and other people can see that, and my enthusiasm passes to them. In this way, it's so much easier to promote the products and share it with others, and they catch to the idea. And next thing I would do, uh, I would take every opportunity to get as much training from my upline and from the company. And so the company should have trainers to help you with that. And next thing I would do, I would write short-term, middle-term, and long-term goals. And I would say have big goals, because it takes as much time to dream big as it does to dream small. So why not go for a better way? And I would get in contact with everybody I know, everybody I will meet in the future. I would be busy on social media, make sure that the company I'm with has training in social media, because that is so important today. And after that, I'll start the prospect with all these people, learn how to handle objections, do presentations and meetups, follow up and duplicate, and build a big business like I've never built before.
Well, that's awesome. That's amazing, and you're exactly right, and that's exactly what it takes to make it. I mean, that's why you're where you are. So even if you lost everything, you just go back and do what you've done already. But now you'll do it with the skill set that you already have. And so, all of you that are listening right now, I hope you guys really get that what she just said. She just talked about some very key things. One, she picked the right company. She said she'd use the product and become a product of the product, and then she would also get trained. That's important. You got to get trained. You got to know what to do, just like in anything else. And then she would set goals, big goals, not just the small ones, big goals, the ones you got to reach for.
Yeah, and I would send them to you training. This way I have less work.
All right, give me a little plug. No problem. You send them to my training too. There you go. That's awesome. And then, of course, you would start contacting people on social media and people that you know, and open your business. It's like if you open the restaurant, you tell all your friends, I opened the restaurant, come down and have a meal. Same thing. You start your business, and then you would do presentations and start presenting the opportunity.
Yeah,
right? That's exactly what it takes to make it.
I remember when I started my business, I had boxes of products everywhere, and even if it were empty because I already used them, they were still hanging everywhere in my living room. So when people would come and say, they'd say, "What's that?" I said, "That's my new business." "Oh, really? What is this all about?" So like I made sure if the product was full, packages were full or they were empty, everything was standing in my living room. So when people came, they could see it.
That's called an advanced technique there. Yeah, but it's true though, because if you think about it, if you started selling shoes on Amazon, you'd have shoe boxes all over your house. If you started selling widgets, you'd have widgets all in your garage.
Exactly.
No different. It's the same thing. It's just a different type of business. And that's what I want really people to see right now that are looking at this message right now and watching this video, that network marketing is just a vehicle. It's just a different way of doing business. But it's one of the best ways to do business. Because you can take the average person, they can make above average income.
What I would like to share is, because many people don't understand network marketing, they heard maybe some negative news from somebody who didn't succeed or something went wrong or whatever. There's always some excuses on that. But if you look at a job, what is a job? There's no security, especially today anymore. And you kind of get paid for the hours, and the the company that hires you is gonna pay you as little, so you won't leave and go somewhere else. So job is considered just over broke, and you cannot really build dreams on job. It's just just doesn't pay enough. And today you even have jobs that don't even give you a living wage. It's crazy. So I have one of my customers, before the pandemic, she had 4 jobs, and she could barely afford any of the products. Now she lost all 4 jobs. Now she has nothing. So it's it's amazing. So, and if you have your own business, it might be better or might not be better, because now you're responsible for everything. You need a high investment, and you need knowledge, and you have to do your own marketing and advertising, and you have headaches with employees, and you have payroll. You must look after everything from CEO to the cleaning lady. High expense. Like we see now, so many companies are going bankrupt because they can't pay rent and utility and all, and employees. You work long hours, especially first few years. Have to collect payments. Sometimes that is difficult. Um, and getting products, selling products, and so on. Then another way is franchise business. That might be a little bit better because it's kind of more turnkey operation, but it's high investment, long hours, dealing with employees, no freedom. You're tied down to the franchisor who wants you to do what they want you to do. You're tied down in location and so on. So that's no good either. And but if you're in network marketing, you have so many benefits. First, I chose to work from home because that is much less expenses. And of course, in network marketing, you don't need any employees, no payroll. All that is done by main company. um, we don't have to make payments from customers or deal with NSF checks, because the customer can deal direct with the company. We have freedom to travel, not being tied down to some store, restaurant, other business or franchise. Uh, and another unique thing in network marketing is it's kind of like uh, we are like a franchisor, because we are selling mini franchises to other people, and we can earn money on them, and there's no limit how many we can sell and how many we can earn money. And also some franchises are tied down to location, like you can only be in this area. With us, we can be anywhere in the world where the company is doing business. And so unique thing is with our company, with network marketing companies, is just all we have to do is promote and train. None of this other work that I just said. And the companies often provide the training. So really, it's just open your mouth and tell other people what we do.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's not a big chore to make this business work. It's effort, but it's simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. That's how I like to say it. It's a simple business. There's some basic things you got to do. You just got to do them consistently. But the reason why it's not easy is because mentally people get knocked out of the game by their friends or economy, or they just come up with reasons. And most of the time, it's their own personal issues. So, just to wrap this up, I'm going to ask you just one little last question. It's a 3-part question. What are 3 specific tips you can give anybody that's watching this right now that may even be considering network marketing or direct sales? What would be 3 tips that you can give them that you would say your best tips, so they can win big this year? What would be 3 main tips?
So that's for people that have lost a job or looking for new business, you mean?
people that may be open to an opportunity or maybe considering something different?
Well, the really important thing is to make the right decision, to choose the right networking marketing company based on what I shared earlier. Next thing is to have big goals. Don't be just happy about little. Of course, if you just need $500 a month and that's your big goal, that's up to you. But people who have big dreams, you can dream big. And become a great leader, learn everything there's to learn, and never quit. That would be my 3 suggestions.
All right, well, that was 4, but that's awesome because you threw in there be a great leader and then never quit. So you gave an extra bonus one there. And that is so important. Consistency is the key. I mean, there's a lot of people that come to this business. I've heard some stories over the years of people that have no skill set, no belief, no money, no family support, no nothing, but they had a big dream that they believed in. I know that's my story, which you guys will hear about my story in one of the videos later. But you don't have to have big dreams and you don't have to have big skill sets yet when you first start. You don't have to have a lot of money when you start. You don't have to have a lot of confidence when you start. And you don't have to have a lot of skill sets when you start. You don't even have to have a great mentor when you start. The key is you got to start.
Exactly. And when I think back, some people think you have to be all polished and the perfect speaker and know how to train people. No, when I first started, I couldn't even speak English very well. And so what I did, I used the tools that the company provided us. And instead of doing all the big talking myself, I said, watch this video, watch this CD or whatever, have a look at this link. And we have so much information today on internet. Whatever the person needs to learn, it's all there. And so don't make it hard for yourself. Make sure that you use all the tools that are available to us, because people, especially if you have friends, they won't believe everything you say, but they will believe a stranger, they will believe to some CD, and they will believe to some link, and not necessarily they will believe a friend. So it's use other ways to inform and impress your friends and people you meet.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. And you gave some great pearls of wisdom today. And that's why I wanted you on the show, because I knew that you'd be able to inspire people. And I hope, you guys watching this right now, you're inspired by Andrea. I hope that, maybe some of you resonated with her. And if that's the case, when you go to our website, at the Success Summit website, the youcansuccesssummit.com, go look on it. Go look for her. Go look her up. Find out what company she's in. Her contact information will be there, and connect with her. Because if you resonate with her, she is absolutely committed to helping you achieve whatever goals that you want to achieve in life. Give her a call, and she'll definitely be able to walk you through that. So, Andrea, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to hear from you and just learn a little bit more about you.
Thank you, Stephen. I really appreciate that, and I wish you much success.
All right, thank you. So we'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah. Bye,
All
Stephen.
right, have a good one.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.